Hello everyone, welcome to Alabama Woodsman. And in the previous video I showed that I finished my winter project, and so I'm going to go ahead and start with my spring project, even though it's late January, which is navigation and tree identification. So today we're just going to work on some basic navigation stuff, and we're going to keep going, and you know, as spring comes on we'll be able to do more tree identification. But so basic navigation, you don't have to really have a compass. It sure helps a whole lot, but you don't have to have one, because as you look around, nature is full of natural compasses. So one that is really easily present, you see everywhere, is moss growing on the north side of trees. And I'm sure you've heard that before, you know, from other people you might have asked about, but a lot of them will say that moss only grows where there's sunlight, and that when you're in the shade in well-forested areas it doesn't grow so well. But no offense to anyone out there, but we're going to disprove that. So as we see down here, this is a relatively thick forest, and you can see on this tulip poplar here that there is no moss on that side, except for at the base, and that's the case in most trees. And tulip poplars really don't grow anything on their barks at all, but other trees like this hickory grow lichens and moss quite well. So as you can see, get this little guy out of the way, you can see the back side of this tree is devoid almost of all lichen, moss, whatever small growth may be on it. But on the other side, as we turn around, look at that, that's the same tree. And look how far up those colonies go. If I adjust, and I guess it won't. But this, with all this moss and stuff, grows up the whole side of the tree. And the reason this is because this is the north side of the tree. And being in the northern hemisphere, the sun tends to pass to the south, southern end of the horizon instead of the northern end. And so this part, the northern part of trees, is usually shaded from the sun. And moss does not like to grow in sunlight. It grows in the shade. It's a shade dweller. And so that's why on the back side of this tree there's nothing growing, because it's out in the sunlight, it burns the moss up. So here's an easy way to tell north from south, because the north side of trees will always have lichens and moss growing on them, especially, you know, on bark. If it's exposed, the inside is exposed, it really won't grow so well. It'd be fungi and different things like that growing. So there you go, there's a good navigation tip. And so as long as there's trees where you're going to be, then you should have an easy way to navigate. And even if you're out in the open, moss will still grow on the trees, because like I said, there's more shade on the northern sides of these trees. And so you can see here, these trees are a little more, see, they're a little pretty devoid. This, I'm not quite sure what this is, but you can see that there's a little bit of stuff growing on it here, whereas nothing on the other side. And so there you have it. There's an easy way to find north. So if we go back to this big tree and turn around, we should get, it won't be spot on, but it'll get a general direction of north. So that is facing this way. So north should be that way. Now, like I said, it's not exact, but you get the general direction. So thank you for tuning in for some tips. Take care and watch some more as they come out.